The doctors take care of my heart. I just sit there and they listen to my heart. Sometimes they say it's good, sometimes they say it's a little bit bad.
We were a busy, active family. Probably almost too busy. We had a boat. We were going to the lake.
Both of my girls barrel raced. They were involved in basketball and volleyball for Little League. Looking back at those times, although we spent a lot of time together as a family, we were always in the vehicle, we were always doing something, I wouldn't necessarily call it a quality family time.
I was perfectly fine with 2 healthy daughters.
I think I would love to have one more. I just don't feel complete. And he looked at me and he said, "Why do you want to chance it?"
At the time she was born, everything I thought was great.
I knew something was wrong. I just had this motherly instinct that something was not right. It just so happened that JT's cousin is a labor and delivery nurse at a neighboring hospital, and her family was going into one of the establishments to eat. I'm holding Brecken and they're eating, and Amber gets done, and I said, "Do you want to hold her?" So I hand her over, and she's kind of swaddled in a blanket, and she's sitting there holding her and kind of looking at her, and I said, "Now, open the blanket and tell me what's wrong with my baby." And she opened the blanket, and I said, "Amber, if this was your baby, what would you do?" And she looked right at me and she said, "Get her to the emergency room." And I just remember the first things that come to your mind are, well, if she dies, where am I going to get a dress? And what's her casket going to look like? And what music do you have play? I sat on a flight watching them administer lots of different medications to her, reading the monitors, shaking their heads. When we landed, her blood pressure had completely bottomed out, and there wasn't anything more they could do for her.
I knew we were in the right place, and these were the guys that could fix her, and that time I was just I'd made up my mind that whatever it took, we was going to make sure it got done.
2 cardiologists came in and visited with us and basically told us exactly what was wrong with her. The great thing was they put it in layman's terms. They drew it out on a piece of paper. They drew out the transposition of the great arteries. They drew out the pulmonary stenosis and the large VSD that was in the bottom of her heart. Kind of told us what they needed to do, what the next steps were going to be. Please sign here. You know, it's emergent and we need to get this done.
When he drew it out, that's when I knew that she had major complications.
So Children's Mercy thought that the best course of action to take would first be a cardiac catheterization, where they would put a small hole up in the artery that would allow for some blood shunting and a little bit of release.
The heart cath, she come out, she had a breathing tube. I still remember the smell. There's something about after a surgery in ICU, there's a distinct smell. I don't know. It's just one of them things. I don't know if that smells what I relate back to all these horrible experiences.
Our life was definitely turned upside down. And I was standing in the elevator and I said, "I can't remember what normal feels like." And he looks at me and he said, "Well, this is our new normal." And so for a family that's constantly on the go, now we were being sidelined. And that was a big adjustment. We just kind of had to stay at home. So the girls' activities, we tried to keep them as normal as possible, but they still kind of ended up slowing down and coming to a halt. I don't think my other two feel like they've missed out on anything, but we've spent a lot more quality time together.
The condition I know my sister has is pulmonary hypertension. Brecken has been to the hospital a lot. I worry about her a lot. Just if anything's gonna go wrong. We pray for Brecken and with her.
Like, I trust God a lot, so I know that He has a good plan for us. I feel like it is she's a very strong person, very. She has a big heart. She cares about all of us. She cares about everyone.
I feel as though the girls have adjusted very well in the given situation.
God gave me how about my family?
So right now she has had 4 open heart surgeries. We averaged an open heart surgery every 9 months for the first 2 years of her life. We have her going in the right direction, but with the pulmonary hypertension, it's terminal. There is no cure. Cardiovascular research is incredibly important. Not only coming up with maybe new procedures or new ways to carry out those procedures, but also new medications and finding out why these things happen. My family, my children, to give them the best possible upbringing is why I am here today. That's why I live every single day advocating and wanting to get the word out on cardiac research, on education, and on funding. It's incredibly important to me. I know it's incredibly important to everyone that Brecken has affected their lives, and she has affected a lot of lives. A lot of people know her, and a lot of people have gotten to know her because of this, and that is my why.
Lots of people love me.